All right. So my name is Donovan Ash. I'm with the Elevation Real Estate Group. I'm here today with Joel and Tyler. Thank you for joining us, guys. So we're going to be going over a little bit of a market update as we are in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic, and a lot of people don't know what's happening in any industry, let alone real estate. And so we just want to give a little bit of an update to our clients. And I think, first of all, we just want to say that right now is not business as usual. We're not out there encouraging people to make moves that are not absolutely necessary. However, we do have some clients that do need to move. Maybe they've already sold their place and they have to buy something, or they're in a situation that requires them to sell their home at this time. And so we are here to help them and you if you're in that situation. So Joel and Tyler, thanks again for joining us, guys.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. Why don't you just start with giving us a little bit of what you're seeing in the market and a bit of an update from your perspective.
Yeah, I'll touch on that here. You may be hearing some predictions out there on what's going on in the market. And we actually just had our monthly stats package come out from the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board. The truth of the matter is nobody really knows what's going to play out in the market. This truly is an unprecedented situation. We've never before seen a global economic shutdown of this nature. So while we don't want to try and predict, we have no crystal ball, and I don't want to be here predicting doom and gloom, sky is falling type forecasts, but we would also be somewhat naive to expect that this an economic event of this magnitude is not going to affect real estate to some degree. So what we usually tell clients when we're in the midst of a storm, which we are right now, there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of variables at play right now. I'm going to share my screen here and pull it up for you. Here we go. Here is kind of the market movement we've seen over the last 3 years across the Fraser Valley. So if we do expect some sort of a fallout in real estate here, some form of correcting in prices from this point forward, I don't know if it's going to be this dramatic or this dramatic is a realtor's dream, a soft landing, but let's assume we're going to see some downward pricing here as the job market struggles, people are getting laid off and affected accordingly. If we start to see some pricing coming down like this over the coming months, there's two things that we tell people you can do when you're in a falling market. If you absolutely have to sell, what you want to do is, well, here's first what you don't want to do. What people will often do, they'll price it up here where the trend was going, and then they'll see the market falling and they'll reduce to here, and then they'll reduce to here and reduce to here and reduce to here. That's called chasing a falling market. It's definitely something you want to avoid. So if you absolutely have to sell and we're expecting the market to drop, what we recommend is you do this. You price here. You get out of a falling market before it continues to fall any further. And that might seem dramatic. The last sale in the complex was $500,000 and we're telling you to price it at $479,000. You'd say that's crazy. We're way below the comparables. The trick is to get below the comparables if that's where the market is headed before the new price is $480 and now you're reducing to $460. Now, of course, if you don't have to sell, our recommendation is you just pull it off the market. You wait for the storm to pass. It's one of the things we witnessed in 2008 when the market corrected in 2008. Let's use a typical price of $500,000 for a home in Langley at that time. By the time the dust had settled after a 2008 correction, the market had only come down 10%, which means that house was worth $450, 500, 10% loss down to $450. If you were trying to sell in the midst of that storm in September, October of 2008, you'd have to put your house on the market at $425 for anyone to even look at it. It was just too much uncertainty out there, too hard to predict. People knew the market was dropping. They didn't know when it was going to stop. So you had to be a screaming deal for someone to say, I'll take that property at that price. So today, I won't say that we're in that much of a storm yet, but it's definitely rolling through. The clouds are above us. It's starting to rain on us, and we don't really know how it's going to unfold. The balance between the government stimulus, the businesses that are shutting down, how many of them reopen, how many people's jobs are affected and incomes. Tough to say how it's all going to roll out.
Yeah, and just to give everybody a little bit of perspective on what we have seen, we just got our statistics package for the last month, which was March. At the beginning of March, the market was looking really optimistic, really for the first time in about 2 years. We'd kind of recovered from a bit of a downward fall of about 10%, and we were now sort of on our way up again with a lot of activity. Not necessarily a lot of upward pressure on pricing at the time, but a lot of activity in the market. So at the beginning of March, the first week, we were on pace for about a 60% increase in sales year over year from March of 2019. Of course, that tapered off once all of this coronavirus stuff started to become more serious in Canada, which happened probably around March 15th, 16th. So right at the 2-week mark of the month, we ended up about 18% more sales than March of 2019. So we still ended higher, but we were projected for 60. We actually achieved 18%. As far as new listings, there's a lot less new listings on the market. So we actually ended up with about 13% less inventory on the market than we had in March of 2019. So less options out there. A lot of people were holding off on listing their home once this happened for obvious reasons. And like Tyler said, if you aren't in a position where you need to sell, you don't need more space, or you don't need to upsize or something like that, or you haven't already sold your home in the beginning of March and now you have to buy something, maybe it would be best to hold off. Obviously, we don't have a crystal ball and we can't tell you how long that's going to be. Could be a year, could be 2 years. We feel like Dwight Schrute in The Office when he's predicting the end of the world. Could it be 11 months? Maybe. Could it be a year? Maybe. Could it be 5? Who knows? So we don't have a crystal ball in that sense, but Joel has been in the real estate industry for about 40 years. And so he's seen stuff like this, not necessarily on this level before, but you've seen corrections in the market and stuff like that happen throughout the years. So Joel, why don't you speak a little bit to what you've seen and kind of what you expect through this?
Yeah, thanks, Donovan. So back in 1981, I remember the market collapsing, and it dropped 50% in 6 months. And that was mainly because interest rates were crazy, 18 to 19, 20%. We don't have that issue right now. So even though I've been through a dramatic change in the market, it's not like this. So I don't know what this is going to end up being. What I can say is when I was trying to sell real estate in that market, we had to become very, very creative. And what we did was, as Tyler mentioned earlier, we made sure any listings that came on where they had to sell, they were under market. And so what I mean by that is when a buyer looks at the listing, they have to look at it and say, whoa, that's a good deal. If they can't say that, chances of selling pretty slim. And it's hurtful, painful for people if they're saying, wait, I remember when it was selling for like 50,000 more. We're not there. We may get back there, but not right now. So as per earlier statement, you don't want to be on the market unless you really do have to sell right now. And even buying, there's, you don't know for sure if it's the bottom of the market or where the bottom of the market it's going to be. And nobody does. So anybody who says they know that, I think they're not giving you the full truth, unfortunately.
And I know that from our perspective, and from maybe some people that are watching this, they're thinking, why would I want to price my home below market value right now? Why wouldn't I price it at market value and hope for a sale there? And you may think that we're doing you a disservice by pricing your home lower than market value at the moment. But really, in a falling market, like Tyler was demonstrating earlier, there is no point in pricing your home at or above market value in a market like this, because really we're not going to be doing you any favors by doing that. What we're actually going to end up doing is like Tyler said, chasing that market down. And so basically the best thing that we can do is just be brutally honest with our clients. And I know that I've been doing that with my clients, and I know you guys have as well, and the rest of our team, trying to give the best honest advice to help people either get out when they can before the market continues to fall, or buy a home that they need to buy so that they can have a roof over their head for their family. So I think that's been really helpful. We're going to really get a lot more information, I think, after the month of April as well, once those statistics come out, because we just haven't seen a lot of sales take place since all of this started. I know I was looking at the Clayton townhouse market, and I hadn't seen a single sale since March 21st that's been registered, at least on the MLS. So that's a little over 2 weeks of no sales recorded. So definitely unprecedented times right now. But we are here to help if you are in that position where you need to sell or you need to buy, or if you need anything else. We're here for you guys. Our goal as a team is to be of service to our clients and make a difference in their lives. And so if there's anything that you need, if you need someone to run out and get some groceries for you or pick up toilet paper, feel free to reach out to us, and we're here to help.
Hey, I'm a senior, so I can get in there early to grab the toilet paper before it's all gone.
There you go. We'll get Joel in there early in the morning waiting in line. So if you guys do need any help like that, feel free to reach out to us. We're here for you through this time, and we're going to do our best to keep you informed and up to date on what is happening as well, because information is power in this type of situation. So feel free to reach out to us if there's anything we can do for you. Thanks for watching this video.
Take care.
Adios.
Bye for now.